Today we're going to be talking about the keys to retaining clients. I'm going to be giving you 6 steps so you can walk away from this video knowing exactly how to turn, a one-off 2K project into 24K a year, so you can build a reliable source of income so that you can actually live a good standard of living, have a nice car, have a nice house, and again, depend on the income you're bringing in rather than having this spike in your sales process where one month you're up, the next month you're down. Essentially, this is the key to escaping the feast and famine cycle, because if you can land a client, today I'm going to be showing you how to lock it in and build that yearly salary essentially. So the first thing I want to cover is just the mindset behind this, okay? And this is retention over acquisition. And I've done a little diagram here in a suspiciously phallic shaped sort of outline, but we're going to get over that, right? So the problem with constantly landing new clients is that you're not getting paid for a good 50% of the work you're doing here. You're sending cold emails, you're sending DMs, you're jumping on sales calls. Even when you land the client, your hourly rate for this first month is completely through the floor, because you have to learn their business, you have to learn their tone, you have to learn the language, you have to get, onboarded into all the systems, the teams. All of that stuff is taken away from your hourly rate and it's taken you more time to deliver the same result. Whereas with a retainer client, you've done all that. So your hourly rate is actually through the roof because you can deliver the same results without, less hours by the laptop. So your hourly rate goes up. So a new client is around 0 to 90 days. And this is where, you're establishing yourself, you're building trust. A retainer client, this is 90 to 180 days. And again, by the time you've got to 90 days with this, you've made 6K rather than 2K. And again, to make that 6K, it's been a lot less work because you've already understood the systems, you already understand everything you need to know. And so you can just come in, deliver the work and get paid. From there, we want to, from 180 days plus, it's turning someone into a strategic partner where they trust you, they've seen results, you've made emotional connections and you're actually friends and you've got loyalty with the team. And again, this is where you unlock that 24K a year salary. You do that 4 times, you're on a 6-figure salary, right? So this is basically the blueprint to why we want to focus on retention over acquisition. Because again, it's given that long-term mindset where we can upsell to easier deals, make even more than that 24K a year. Okay, again, like I said, it's easier. It's much easier to sell to someone that you've already sold to than to sell to someone new entirely. Okay, your lifetime value of this customer increases because rather than just getting 2K in, you're getting 24K a year. And again, you've unlocked a salary rather than just one-off projects, which gives you that good standard of living where you can have consistent income that you can actually, predict what's coming in, you can rely on, and you can build a good life for yourself and your family. Okay, so let's get into the steps of how we're actually going to do this. First one here is just actually connecting with the team. We don't want to be this hustle bro, transactional dude, commodity that comes in, doesn't make any connections, sticks in his own lane, gets his invoice paid, ghosts, and every now and then he pops up in Slack. Like, no, because trust creates opportunities, all right? So if you want to upsell and make it more than a 24K a year salary, we need to build actual trust with the client, not just the client, but every team within the business. So the sales team, operations team, the VAs, the editors, everything. Because again, the more strategic partners you have in different departments, the more likely they are to actually refer you to their other clients as well. Because I can let you in on a little secret. The closer that's closing on the offer you're working on is also closing on 5 others. Those other 5 offers are probably going to need a copywriter at some point. So you might as well lock in that relationship while you can. All right. Now, we want everyone to have a good experience with working with us. So every touch point, every call, every message, every time someone has an experience with you, we want that to be a good experience, okay? Because that is what builds loyalty, okay? Now, we need loyalty because we're in business. Sometimes shit doesn't go to plan. Maybe your campaign will underperform. Maybe shit will hit the fan for them. Their ads will stop working. Their traffic will slow down. And, they're looking at their bottom line, like, where can we cut costs? Now, if you are just this transactional, low-level commodity in the team, you're the first cost to go because they see you as a cost. Whereas if you've got loyalty, you're their friend, you've built actual emotional connections and a good relationship, then you're the last to go, right? You've got that loyalty, you're safe. So connecting with everyone on the team protects you in hard times. You'll have people talking good stuff about you, even in rooms you're not in. So make sure you're actually connecting. Don't just be this hustle bro that disappears. Now, the next thing here is just getting close to the money, right? Because if you're an email list manager, if you're a social media manager, you might be getting great results. Let's say if you're an email list manager, if you've increased open rates, but what does that mean for applications? What does that mean for leads? What does that mean for calls? And what does that mean for sales? Okay, so you need good tracking in place to be able to, basically show the impact you're having. But same for a social media manager, right? You might be doing a great job getting new followers, getting new eyes on the page, getting new fans, increasing engagement. But how does that reflect in applications? How many leads do you take off of socials? How many calls do those leads turn into? And how many sales do those calls turn into? So track all of this, because as a marketer, you're always safe if you can attach your work to revenue, because you can show the impact you're having. And again, when shit hits the fan, the conversation isn't, oh, well, we're losing $1,000 every month with this guy. It's, we're spending $1,000, but we're making 10 back. Okay. So we want to show the ROI. And the only way we're going to do that is by getting close to the money. All right. Now, the next thing here, again, in order to be able to do this, you need to be able to drive results. Now, this should be the first thing that you're always focused on as a copywriter. Always over delivering. It's the first point here. So that goes beyond the brief, beyond the department. And I want you to always have a results focused thinking. The first thing you should want for a client is great results. All you should want from a client is great results. The money will find you as long as you're delivering great results. So most people, they try to get to this 24K a year. They try to get to the big part without ever putting in the reps or going through the dips to get the skills required to deliver good results. So you need fulfillment systems. You need a way of being able to ensure that results are going to happen every single time. Okay, now again, I don't just want this to happen in one department. I want you to be doing this cross department. So let's say you're writing content for social media. Okay, people are going from social media, thanks to your content, through a ManyChat automation, booking a call, but then they're turning up to the call and the sales guys are like, they don't seem to understand X, Y, and Z. Well, why don't you write some emails that educate them on X, Y, and Z before they turn up to the call? Why don't you create a script for your guru to do a video on the page after they book the call to just give them some homework and educate them ready for when they turn up to the call? Because all of a sudden, you're going to have a much bigger impact. You can show how you're getting closer to the money. You're building connections with multiple departments and multiple team members, and that creates easy upsells. All right. So your results across the entirety of the business is what's going to allow you to create future upsells and just magnetically attract easy business. All right. And again, getting good results is what we leverage to get new clients and keep this whole flywheel going. So results are super important. Don't skip this part of the whole process. The next, though, is that I need you to sell yourself. Now, as copywriters, we get lost selling for the client. We get lost talking about their offer, their this, their whatever. But you need to share your wins. You need to show a zoom out. Here's where you were, here's where you are now that you're working with me. Here's the impact I'm having. So show your impact, okay? Whether that's on team meetings, whether that's in the DMs, just any touch point, you want to be able to easily explain and show exactly why they're investing in you. What is the ROI that you are producing with your service, okay? Now scream about it. Too many copywriters are too humble. They're ghosts in the Slack channel. They turn up, they put some copy in a Google Doc, they disappear. I want you to be the team member that's like, look what we've done. Look how much we've increased open rates. Look at the stats and the data. Look at how many applications this has driven. Look at where we were and look at where we are now. So scream about it. Don't be afraid to show what you're doing, okay? Because the more you do that, the more irreplaceable you become. And this is number 6, all right? Now, this can be very powerful. And so if this information gets in the wrong hands, we might be in trouble, but I'm trusting you because you're smart if you're watching this channel. All right. So the first thing is just, what tools can you invest in? Can you maybe, spend $100 a month of your 2K a month retainer on investing in tools that the team needs? Because again, that's what builds these connections and trust, because you're showing that you're a strategic partner and not just some low-level commodity that's here to chase new business and new cash. So what tools can you buy? Do you need domain warming tools? Do you need any AI? Do you need anything along those lines that's a small, low-level commitment to you, but showcases what it's like to work with you and reflects your service as a much more valuable service than just someone that doesn't give a shit? Okay, again, next one, a little bit more Dark Lord, but can you set things up with your authenticator? So any 2FA, your email, your number, your authenticator app, because that's what creates dependencies. Now, there's other ways to create dependencies in terms of team members reporting into you, you owning systems, you owning, ways that they get results. But authenticators is a nice, easy way to do it, because when they do look to get rid of you, if shit is hit the fan, they're not just weighing up, do we want to get rid of him? It's, how will the business run without him? How will we authenticate this? How will we get access to this? Like, how much of a headache is it going to be to get rid of this person? That's how you really embed yourself and turn yourself into a strategic partner. But again, don't just use this as like the Dark Lord tactic. Use these in combination with all of the good things I'm saying here, in hopes to connect, in hopes to get closer to the money, in hopes to deliver better results, and to sell yourself as an actual strategic partner that cares for the business. Okay, same with domains. You know, can you buy the domain? Can you own the domain? Because that's going to make you super irreplaceable. The more dependent we can get a client on you, the better. Okay. Now, I actually walk all of my one-on-one copywriting clients through all of this and set it up for them in their business. So if you want a quick 15-minute no pressure chat about how we can get all of this rolling for you so that you can turn your one-off 2K projects into a 24K a year salary and build predictable, reliable and stable income for you and your family so you can have a consistent standard of living, then just check out the link in the description below. We can make sure that all of this is rolling off of that first 15-minute call. No pressure either way. But again, if you've enjoyed this, make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, and take care, because I'm going to be doing a few more of these and I want to catch you in the next one.